Hiya, today we're going to show you how to make sure your home's as warm as it can be in winter. And first thing, if you've got a gas central heating system, you want to make sure that it's clean inside the grates. You can take this off and we're going to bleed it as well, and that means take some water out to make sure there's no air trapped and it works as best as it can. So what I'm going to do is take this side off first. If our cameraman can just lean over slightly. If you grab it at the side and pull it up, there, like that, that comes off, yeah? And then you can get this tray, pull this grid off. Now, you can get yourself one of these fancy brushes, which my mum got off something, a book, magazine somewhere. And what you can do is slide it down each grate until it's clean. You can clean it with a paintbrush or anything you want. Anything you can get down the gaps, do so, because dust will stop it functioning properly. So they need to be clean, right? So when you've cleaned it all, you can put your top back on, which slots in and then slots in again. So you put it on, put that top up first before you get it on, and then push it together and bang it down. And that is how it is to be down. Now ideally as well, you want them clean, so if they're dirty, get them white, get them washed and everything, because the more white that's on them, it will reflect the heat out. If they're rusty or bits is off them, get them painted with radiator paint. Now this is how you bleed your radiators. At this side you've got like a little round silver thing there, can you see it? You can see it there. Yep, yep. Now you can get these keys, you can get them from corner shop if you want, pop it in, turn it slightly, and you can hear the water coming out. Can you see it coming in the tub? Yeah. You see it coming in there? Yep. You've got some water coming out. Now when you've done that, tighten it back up. And when it's tight, obviously there's no more water coming out, but they do hiss and then the water comes out in your tub. And that's that, to clean that. And that's to make sure there's no air trapped. Right, okay. We'll get back to you in a sec. Now you need to go around the house and do all the radiators the same like that. When you've done that, your water pressure down here will have dropped a bit, yeah? So you need to fill these up then. So you have a little switch under here, I'll show you in a minute. That needs to be in the green, that. We have a little blue switch. Can you get under and see? On this one we have a blue switch. And when we turn this, can you hear the water running? And it goes in and fills that up, yep. Just focus on that and then turn it back when you've done, and that will come back down to green. You need it to be in the green, okay? And then after that, when you've done all that, you can turn your central heating back on. Right, we'll continue, we'll come back to you in a minute, okay? You can as well put some reflective foil behind your radiators. Now what you could do is put some tin foil on a piece of cord and then slot it down behind so it reflects the heat back in. So that's another tip, okay? We'll get back to you. Right, don't worry if you can't get any side off or it's lifting up or anything. Just try and jab something down like a paintbrush, child's paintbrush, and clean where you can, okay? Then we got ourselves some, this is like secondary glazing film, a lot of companies do it. We saw it advertised somewhere and we got some. And basically, in your pack, you get some double-sided tape. And you run your double-sided tape along here, and along the bottom, and then along the sides. Now in here as well, you get some film. And you measure your window, and ideally if you're doing this pane, measure it about 3 inches below, 3 inches above as well. Same at the other side, 3 inches above, either way. And then what you're going to do is cut it, and then you basically stick it on, peel off your first tape, and then stick it on. It doesn't matter if there's a few creases in, just get it as tight as you can, pull it on, and then undo your bottom tape, and pull this down, and stick it on, and then work on your sides and pull them till they go level. And ideally, if you can hear this, can you hear that?
Yep.
You want it to be tight as a drum. And that makes it a lot warmer, okay? We'll come back to you in a second. Now next, if you've got any outdoor boxes coming in, gas meters, electric meters, get some masking tape and go around the doors because you'll be able to feel the draft coming through and you don't want any of that, so make sure they're sealed, okay? Right, we'll come back to you. Right, as you said, here I'm down on the floor, yeah. Skirting boards in your kitchen, have a feel underneath. Yeah, they meet there and they meet at the top. Have a feel all the way around. If you feel any drafts, You can, for instance, shove some tissue paper in, put some masking tape round, anything like that. Some builders and that will put roofing felt insulation behind to keep it warm and dry. But if you feel any drafts coming in, certainly get some masking tape or some kitchen roll, anything like that. Or even a draft excluder going round. Okay, so do that. For anyone who doesn't know what masking tape is, masking tape, and lots of people don't use it, they should, is where you put round the side of something to stop paint getting on anything. So you do it like that and paint outside the door. But this is fabulous for keeping drafts out as well, so keep it to hand. Okay. Next is you want to feel round your doors and all your window frames as well outside, that's coming in outside. And if there's any gaps, anything like that, get yourself a bit of filler. Whack around with filler, get yourself some silicone sealant, which is waterproof, and bob it on and just run down with your finger, and that'll seal it, so it'll make it so there's no air coming in as such, and that's what you want, like that. Okay, we'll come back to you in a minute. Right, we're back on the floor again. Now go to your outside wall, make your indoor wall with your skirting boards on, run your fingers along, feel for any drafts, and as well, where your carpet meets or whatever, pull that away, have a look, have a feel. I found a gap in a corner here where the skirting board didn't meet properly. I've put some filler in and I've put some silicone over. You can see that, can't you? Okay, so do all that on all your outside walls just to check. Okay, and then we'll get back to you. Now if you can hear me over the wind, because we've got a storm here today, if you've got drafts coming under your kitchen units and stuff, it could be, if it's an old house where there's a gap in the outside wall where the wall meets the floor. This is a cottage. Here I found a gap under here. Can you see? That's a potential where stuff can come in. And I've got an outdoor exterior filler, and I'm just going to fill that because it's waterproof as well, just to make sure that the drafts aren't coming in from under there. Okay, so it's worth checking that as well. These are your window seals. Now they could be getting worn. Have a look all the way around outside. I mean, I found that we're missing, so we're going to have to replace a window. So for a minute I've just put outdoor filler in just to keep any rain out. So yeah, check all your window seals and stuff, and you'll find that some of them may need replacing, or you might need a new window depending. Okay, so when you've done all that, I'll get back to you. Now, when you've done all that, it will be exceedingly warm. On your landing, especially with this film, it were really warm, we noticed after. And we got 2 packets of these film, which would do pretty much most of the house, for about £22 delivered online with the tape and with the plastic film. It's not as hard as it looks, don't worry about it. What you do is you put an air dryer on it after, and it gets all the creases out, and it's fabulous. Okay, now when you've done all that and checked all that, you want to get one of these instead of an hot water bottle. And these are like a wheat bottle that you warm. Same shape as an hot water bottle. You've never seen these, have you?
No, not a microwave.
Right. So what I'm going to do, you microwave it for 1 minute 15 this. I'm going to do that and let our cameraman test the heat as well. A lot safer than a hot water bottle. So I'll come back to you in a second. Yeah, once these have gone in the microwave, you give them a shake and they're fabulous. Just have a feel of that and you'll find a constant warm. And that will stay warm for about 6 or 7 hours in your bed. It's amazing. Charles got one. I've had mine about 30 years. And they're the best thing since sliced bread. Okay, so see if you can find one of these on the internet. I think they'll be about maybe £10 at the most. But I've had mine nearly 30 years. And it's gone in every time it's been cold. So there you go. Okay, and that should help to keep you warm in winter. Now, talking about white and radiators and things, I was talking to my electrician friend who come to do some work for us, and he said he got a chrome towel rail and a white towel rail of the same wattage, and he fitted them, and the white one belted out a lot more heat, even though they were the same voltage, than the chrome one, and our cameraman will just quickly explain why.
Because chrome and shiny surfaces don't radiate the heat out.
But the
white one would.
Does.
Yeah,
so if you're going to get a towel rail, the best one to get is?
The white one.
Okay, and that's it. And just as a temporary measure and an afterthought as well, while you're waiting to get this, or if you can't get this for whatever reason, you could blue tack bubble wrap, just so it's not touching the glass, so it's just away from it, and that will insulate it somewhat as well. And even if it's kids' bedroom, it's upstairs or whatever, just put some cardboard at the window, and that'll stop a lot of cold as well. Okay?
It'll be dark as well.
It'll be dark as well, but it will make it a bit warmer, won't it, Pete? Okay? So that's it.